Okay, we've seen how easy it is for FilePro to generate a report that shows the totals of a field. Now let's see how it can deal with subtotals. And what are subtotals? Well, subtotals are parts of the total, and in this case, how could we segregate our file into parts of a total? Well, we have a bunch of fields in this file that might be subtotal on. I think the best one we could subtotal on would be state. In other words, let's see how much year-to-date sales we have grouped by state. We'll subtotal the amount for each state, and then we'll also print the grand total at the end. In other words, we'll see how much sales there were in New Jersey, California, Nevada, etc., whatever there is in this file. To put subtotals on a report, we need a place to put them. Here's the heading area that's going to print on every page. Here's the data area, which will print the line of data and each company's particular year-to-date sales. Here's the grand total. Where do you put subtotals? You do that by pressing the F8 for extended function keys and going to the sort information. On the sort information, we've been sorting by company. Well, that's not going to, we can't do that anymore for this. In order to subtotal on a field, you have to sort by it. You have to sort all the records in that order, and as the FilePro runs the report, it will keep track of all the subtotal amounts for you. And it's a very nice function, and here's how you do it. We'll pick the state field, which is field 7, and we will put an X here under subtotal field. Incidentally, I've been glossing over this one. This descending, this just means that we can sort descending. In other words, the Wyomings would come first, the Wyoming records, then the West Virginias, and whatever. However alphabet sorts backwards in terms of state, we could make it descend or go the opposite way of the standard alphabetic sort, or the standard numeric sort. Instead of records sorting with their fields going from lower to higher, you could have the higher numeric numbers, the higher numeric values come first on a report. Sometimes very valuable. Okay, in this case we'll just leave that sort the way it is. Let's also sort by, might as well sort by last name and first name. It doesn't hurt anything to do that. But notice we're not subtotaling by those fields. We're just going to subtotal the year-to-date sales by state. Okay, what has it done? It did a kind of a bad thing, I think. What it did was it copied what used to be in the totals area up into something now called subtotals. If I go down and look, you see there's my total area and there's nothing in it anymore. FilePro just did this thing of moving stuff around for us. A lot of times this will clobber your format. If you're designing a format and you've got things in the right place, and you add a subtotal field, everything shifts around in a funny way sometimes, and you're just not going to be happy. So you could have prepared for this a little bit, but I'll show you that a little bit later. But if you press F8 to grow, we can grow this total area again by pressing F3. I turn the toggle area on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. I'll just press the box functions, know a little bit about, and I'll copy this area, C, down to the total area. Okay? Now, why did I copy it? Because I can use most of this stuff in here. Leave this. This is going to represent the subtotal amount for any particular state, but you know what? This is not right, so we're going to change this text. Now we might have it say something like, we'll try subtotal for, and then we want to put the state name, don't we? Let's do this even a little bit more. We'll do this. We'll say sales for, and I'm going to put a system maintained field that FilePro uses called the subtotal field. In other words, we'll put an asterisk to show that a field's coming up, and the system maintained field SF will print for us the actual state, like New Jersey or New York, and we'll say NYNJ. So we could say sales for NJ, etc. Okay, now I'll just pull this over a little bit. We know there's only two characters in the state field. All right, I did that a little strange, but it's just the way I'm hearing things. Okay, so now this just says sales for New York, New York, New York, and it's still down here going to give us a total. It's going to say New York, New Jersey, California. Now, do we have too much space? Maybe, but it's going to help us see things a little bit more quickly. Okay, I've saved that report. All I did was the little simple thing I showed you. Just generate a sort field, say you want a subtotal on it, and put an equal sign in there and print something next to it. Let's do G. We'll generate this output. By going to our menu, we'll pick G for generate output. My machine is still backing up, so it's going to be a little slow, I suppose. This is a problem that's bothering me greatly. The backups shouldn't be slowing us down at all, but something is not set right. Okay, here, once we've generated that output into this file, let's view it now. Okay, you can see it did what we wanted it to do. It says the sales for California are $1,060.27. As we go down this file, we can see that it's subtotaled on all the states. There are some blank lines in there. People who don't have year-to-date sales, I want to show you how to get rid of them in a moment. Here, sales for New Jersey, 2,100 and something, and here's here's one person, so we're probably at the end of a page. There we go. And there's the totals for Nevada, and here's the totals for New York, and there's the grand totals. So, and you see, by the way, that the totals for New York were only one record, $299, and then so that's exactly the same as the sales total for that whole state. This can often happen in a region or state or whatever. You have just one sale, so the subtotal matches. This report worked fine, and subtotals are just that easy to do.